Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Friday, March 29th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, a man charged with attempting to import $500,000 worth of drugs took the stand today in the Supreme Court in his own defense. As you'll hear, 25-year-old Edward Alboy says he was given baby items to bring back to the island but was unaware of the contents. Jasmine Patterson has the details.
25-year-old Edward Jelani Alboy of Southampton denies attempting to smuggle ecstasy, cannabis, and cannabis resin with intent to supply on September 3, 2017, through the Elif Wade International Airport. The Crown alleges that Alboy knowingly brought in the drugs in his suitcases concealed in diaper packaging, wipes, and T-shirts, which were found by customs officers. He told customs officers he was, quote, surprised at the discovery of the drugs in his luggage. Giving evidence from the stand, Alboy told his legal counsel, Susan Mulligan, that the main purpose of his visit to the UK was to view prospective universities in Birmingham. He said he worked as a landscaper and wanted to pursue higher education in order to start a business of his own in Bermuda. Alboy arrived in the UK on August 23, 2017, and said he spent the majority of the time viewing schools. He also told the jury that he was in contact with a sixth form college buddy over WhatsApp who lives in Bristol before leaving Bermuda to try and arrange to reconnect. The pair, he says, attended Fulton College in Bristol for 2 years and had remained friends. With a few days left of his visit, he says that he traveled to Bristol by train to meet his friend, who cannot be named for legal reasons. Alboy said he arrived in Bristol with the intention of traveling back to Birmingham that day to return to his hotel, but his friend insisted he stay with him. He says they stopped at a local Tesco market to buy toiletries for his overnight stay. He said his friend purchased diapers and other baby supplies, which he said were for a friend's godson in Bermuda. Alboy says he was unaware that his friend knew another Bermudian and agreed to take the items back to Bermuda, but denies knowing the true contents of the items. He stated, quote, "He told me he would contact me to collect the Pampers in Bermuda." At Elif Wade International Airport, while having his luggage searched, he recalls chatting with customs officer Ms. Hendrickson. When the baby items from Tesco were found, Ms. Hendrickson says Alboy told her, quote, "My boy's going to be happy that I brought these diapers," referring to the cost, adding, "I paid like £20. Ms. Hendrickson previously told the court the defendant admitted to buying the baby items for his godson. However, Alboy stated today, "That's not correct. I said my friend had bought them for his godson and friend," end quote. The trial continues.
Thanks, Jasmine. In other news, Glenn Jones has been promoted to the role of Chief Experience Development Officer at the Bermuda Tourism Authority. This marks the first time a member of the staff of the BTA has been promoted internally to a C-suite position. In his new position, effective the 29th of April, Jones will work with entrepreneurs, small businesses, and other stakeholders to develop experiences aligned with Bermuda's National Tourism Plan. Kevin Dallas, CEO of the BTA, says, quote, "It was very clear to me and our board that Glenn was the right candidate to build our existing destination management efforts and take us to the next level." When asked on whether the position was advertised, Mr. Dallas responded, quote, "The Bermuda Tourism Authority's hiring process is to post open positions internally first. If it can't be filled by an internal candidate, then the position is to advertise locally," end quote. Jones joined the BTA in January 2015 as the Director of Public and Stakeholder Relations, later becoming the Director of Strategy and Corporate Communications in May 2018. Mr. Jones stated in a release, quote, "I'm passionate for the youthful entrepreneurship that is flowing back into tourism, and I will look to that sector for building industry growth going forward. He will continue to report directly to CEO Kevin Dallas and replaces Pat Philip Farron, who previously held the position for 5 years. Coming up, Bermuda Red Cross to assist cyclone victims and the latest weather news. Stay with us.
At Argus, our interest is you, each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs for their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
You can count on us.
Broccoli crowns, hot price, $2.99 per pound. Save $1.30 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.59 per pound. Hunt snack pack puddings, 4 packs, hot price, $1.79. ShopRite fresh frozen fruit, 12-ounce bag, only $2.99. Your choice of any fresh pet, refrigerated pet food, 20% off. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
At ProServe, we've got mail. Did you know at ProServe, we handle over 150,000 mail pieces per month. We have a full mail handler's license, secure, centrally located facilities, state-of-the-art digital printing, insertion, franking, and tracking systems. Even full mailroom operations management, along with experienced staff and the reliability to get your job done right. So whether the job is large or small, by hand or sprint pickup delivery, daily, weekly, monthly, or a one-off project, we've got you covered from start to finish with email confirmation. At ProServe, we've got mail. Call 295-7619 or visit proserve.bm and let's get it started.
Welcome back. Well, an astounding 1.7 million people across 3 countries in southern Africa were displaced after Cyclone Idai ripped through the region last week. The Bermuda Red Cross has joined an international urgent appeal to provide disaster relief to survivors of the Category 2 storm. The Mozambique Red Cross and the IFRC need to raise 10 million Swiss francs to help 75,000 people build shelter, get food, and provide urgent medical supplies. We spoke with Ann Spencer-Arscott, Executive Director of the Bermuda Red Cross, who is coordinating the relief effort locally.
I know the 3 countries have been listed, but at the moment we're just getting a lot of reports back around Mozambique. And the head of the International Red Cross spent 2 days in Mozambique just talking to the volunteers and talking to some of the people who have been left homeless. And they're saying that like 400,000 people have been made homeless. The biggest concerns in situations like this where there are already some issues, December through April in Mozambique is when the country is more susceptible to malaria. And so the biggest concern with all the flooding and the banks of rivers having been flooded over, there's going to be a lot of waterborne diseases.
What is the greatest need?
For the most part, it is financial donations that are needed, because what they do is the money goes back into the country, so it helps to stimulate the economy in these countries, especially if they can get something from a neighboring country versus having to pay all the costs of containers and then getting it across land and, worrying about pirating or things getting stolen.
Over the years, there's been a lot of criticism that the third sector does not necessarily spend all the money on those who need it most. What can the Bermuda Cross say or do to ensure that the funds are sent to where they're needed most?
Because we are a branch of the British Red Cross, we send our funds through to them, and then they send it out to the International Red Cross, unless British Red Cross has a program or project that they're going to work on specifically within that affected country. 100% of the money leaves Bermuda, and then there is 7% taken out by the International Red Cross, and that's just to help cover administration costs. I think what people forget sometimes is that money is also used to get volunteers there. Money's used to cover, especially if it's salaried staff that come in and, spend months, maybe years there. So money is used to bring people with skills to the affected areas. We are fortunate to have a wealthy community in Bermuda. So some can always obviously donate more than others. And I just think we are a very giving country, a very giving people. We haven't had the devastation that so many others have had, but I think people just want to make sure that people who've suffered so badly, have something to fall back on, knowing that they're taking care of somebody in a small way.
Again, the Bermuda Red Cross can be reached at 236-8253 or go online to bermudaredcross.com for more information on how to donate. In other news, long traffic delays in the Devonshire area this evening following a two-vehicle collision. Police say officers and first responders attended the scene of a road traffic collision that took place at the junction of Loyal Hill and North Shore Road in Devonshire, involving a private motor car and a van around 4 p.m. today. The driver of the van was apparently trapped in the vehicle as a result of the crash and had to be extricated out by the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service. Both drivers involved were taken to the King Edward Memorial Hospital and treated for injuries that do not appear to be life-threatening. The roads were cordoned off while the relevant officers processed the scene, and an investigation into the collision is now underway. Police are reminding the motoring public to exercise sound judgment on the roads by driving with caution, obey the speed limit, and be mindful of other drivers. Well, turning to weather news, a wet and windy Friday. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for our weekend weather update.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast on ZBM is brought to us by the good folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. We have an upper-level low-pressure system lingering nearby, and this is leading to some pretty active wind and some occasional rain and some showers. You can see Futurecast. Well, this is initially the satellite estimated rainfall. It begins with some wet weather nearby, and this is what we've been dealing with today, these episodes of showers. And Futurecast, as I'll soon show you, will hold on to the potential for some showers. Temperatures are ranging between 65 and 66 degrees. We are dealing with water temps that have bumped up just slightly to 68 degrees. The winds are active, though, from the east-northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Because of that, we have 8 to 12-foot waves on the outside periphery of the island, and that is leading to some challenging boating weather. A small craft warning remains in effect through Saturday evening, so be aware of that. Conditions will improve behind that. Tonight, the tide is going out until 10:42. That's low tide. The tide comes back in early tomorrow morning. Another low tide in the late morning approaching midday, and then high tide at 5:28. All the while, waves will be big and boating weather will be a little challenging out there. Occasional showers linger tonight. It rains breezy and unsettled. That's the theme over the past few months. It's been a wet time, hasn't it? And you can see an expected low of 63 degrees. Tomorrow, we will see a little more sunshine eventually in the latter part of the day, but still in the big picture, more clouds than anything else. Breezy, and a passing shower or two will occur. Will be a little warmer, back up to 71. And you can see Futurecast is going to slowly drag this system away. But you can see the upper level swirl is still nearby tomorrow, and that may lead to the continuation of spotty showers out there. As we look at the forecast here, initially down into the Caribbean, we go with showers into Jamaica. Barbados looks bright and dry. Trinidad, nice setup there. 88 degrees for your expected high. Now as we take a look at the eastern part of North America, the Gateway forecast, showers in Toronto. In New York, we're around 59, a warming trend for eastern parts of the United States. Atlanta, 77, Miami, 80 degrees with some showers. In London, spring-like, 65. It looks good out there, despite some extra clouds. And the extended forecast shows some showers lingering, as we mentioned, as this upper-level swirl of low pressure slowly trudges through the region. Saturday, we're still occasionally dealing with some wet weather. Sunday, Monday, and into early Tuesday, improvements, 70 degrees brighter, drier. We'll look forward to that. Temperatures aren't going to change a whole lot, but it will become drier. The humidity will be lower. And then as we fast forward into Wednesday, the next storm system brings the next good chance for rain back into the neighborhood. Will be around 72 by then. So we're making progress. Before we know it, April will be here. I hope you have a great weekend. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm a taxi driver / ambassador. My father's with BF&M, so am I. Half of my family always been seen to be with Bermuda Fire Marine. I tried a different provider at one time, but I wasn't too happy with the competition because back then it took too long to settle claims. They questioned every claim, and I never really had that problem with BF&M. I'm quite happy with it.
And you're watching the Friday edition of Bermuda Tonight. A visiting religious speaker here for a series of seminars has condemned the New Zealand terror attacks as the most basic form of religious intolerance. American Alan Raynock represents an organization called the Church State Council based in California. He will be addressing local audiences starting tonight at one of the several seminars on global religious freedom at the Warwick Seventh-day Adventist Church. Terai Trott spoke to him.
The right to worship, pray openly, discuss your religious views in the workplace, all up for discussion. Visiting international speaker Alan Raynock says religious freedoms around the world are currently under attack.
First of all, what do you mean by religious freedom?
Well, that's a good place to start. Religious freedom has a long and noble history. There's different components to it. Fundamentally, the right not just to believe, but to practice one's faith, and not just individually, but in community. So that's kind of basic. From our standpoint, we look at it as the golden rule, because we protect religious freedom for everybody, not just for ourselves. One of the aspects we're going to look at very closely in our series is the separation of church and state and the proper roles of government.
One issue Mr. Raynock will be talking about is the New Zealand terror attacks, in which an admitted white supremacist broadcast himself gunning down 50 worshippers at 2 mosques.
Would you say that was an attack on religious freedom?
Sure. The most basic kind of expression of religious intolerance, calling people who are worshiping peacefully invaders and killing them. I'm going to discuss that, in fact, in my opening presentation on the age of intolerance.
Asked why he is focusing on Bermuda, a place where religious freedom doesn't normally form part of complaints.
It's a beautiful island, and I was graciously invited to come and do a lecture series here. I think the issues of global intolerance are something that we should all be concerned about. Certainly, I've been told Bermuda is a place where faith is highly valued, that there's a large percentage of folks here who are church attenders and such.
Dr. Kenneth Manders is the president of the Bermuda Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, and he's hosting Mr. Raynock. He enforces that religious freedom is a God-given right.
I think that we can say that we enjoy religious freedoms in our country. There are a number of faiths. Those who believe in the Bible, the Quran, or those who just have their own personal convictions. I believe that Bermuda is a place that we enjoy religious freedom, but it's not something that we should take for granted.
Dr. Manders does recall times in the island when it was felt that religious freedoms had been challenged.
I know that in history there have been people who have felt that way when it came to taking exams in the classrooms, for example, and they felt that they needed some kind of advocacy, someone to stand up for their rights, even though the policies of an institution may dictate that there's a schedule that must be followed.
Attendance to the seminars at the Warwick Seventh-day Adventist Church is free, with the first seminar taking place tonight at 7, then Saturday at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., then every night at 7 on Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Earl Basil will have all the latest sports news after the break. Stay with us.
Sweet eating cantaloupes, hot price 2 for $5. Fresh certified Angus beef, top sirloin steak, $8.99 per pound. Old time honey wheat sliced bread, 20-ounce loaf, hot price $4.49. Wholesome pantry almond milk, 64-ounce carton, hot price $4.59. Family size 24-ounce Kellogg's Frosted or cornflakes or Raisin Bran cereal, hot price $7.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Surface Trends is proud to offer Bermuda's best selection of natural and exotic stone, carefully selected and imported from Italy and Brazil. We also stock the newest collection from Caesar stone and silestone. Don't forget our wide variety of gorgeous porcelain wood plank tiles, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile, as well as natural travertines suitable for outdoors and indoors. Bathroom and pool tiles are in stock too. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1.
It was 5 days before Christmas. I will never forget that. I went for a regular 20-week checkup to see how the baby was doing. They said, your daughter has a half a heart. Her heart is damaged beyond repair. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? And she said, yes. There's nothing we could do to help your daughter. New York Presbyterian Hospital said, yes, we'll take her. And yes, they did. We knew that Jenna would need a heart transplant. Dr. Badger actually said, you have to do the 3 surgeries to give her a fighting chance. Everybody else gave up. They never gave up. I would tell the entire New York Presbyterian Hospital, you guys are our angels. You guys are always there for Jenna.
Turning to sports now, Turk Harifta Games team announced the 2019 Kappa Classic is underway and Bermuda netballers ready for battle in Antigua. Earl Baisden has all the details and so much more in tonight's sports package.
The Bermuda National Athletic Association, during a check presentation at the National Sports Center, announced the Harifta Games team. Announcing the team was the Bermuda National Athletic Association President, Donna Rayner.
Under 17 girls, we have Amelia Uthman in the high jump, Caitlin Bobb, 200, 400, Jazari Tolbert, 800, Katura Bulford Trot, 200 meters, Sana Ray Morris, 400 meters, Sakaja Parsons, 100 meters and long jump. The under 20 girls, Isabel Dutranoit, who will be competing in the 1,500 meters and the 3,000 meters. Under 17 boys, Chase Tanner, 100 meters and long jump. Kazai Seeley, 3,000 meters. Nathan Armstrong, 1,500 meters and 3,000 meters. Nairobi Smith Mills, 800 meters, 1,500 meters. Santro Smith, 800 meters and high jump. Under 20 boys, Clavante Bean, 200 meters, 400 meters. John Dow Cumberbatch, 5,000 meters. Ryan Otterbridge, 5,000 meters. Macau Deal, 100 meters and long jump. Sadiq Nurse, long jump. Suresh Black, 100 meters, 200 meters.
The 2019 Kappa Classic is underway. Chairman of the Kappa Classic, Ray Jones, summed up day one this way.
Well, I think day one went pretty good. I mean, day one's always the challenge because it's the first day. Since we moved to Thursday, it's still kind of the middle of the week. So not just us as brothers, but volunteers trying to get to the stadium, the players, the parents. So it's always a bit of a challenge. But we pretty much got off to a good start, got off on time. I mean, as you know, we prepare for this many months in advance. So basically, most of the groundwork or the physical infrastructure was already in place from Wednesday night. So on yesterday, we were just doing fine-tuning just to make sure things were still in place.
Bermuda's under-16 national team took part in the opening ceremony for the 2019 Jean Pierre under-16 tournament in Antigua and Barbuda. Announcing her team to the crowd was the netball team captain, Selah Tuzo.
Good evening, everybody. I have 2 co-vice captains, which are Karaya and Casey. Then we have Amara. Jazai. Amaya. Elisha. Jesse. Jade. Kigaye, Alexi, Azriel, and Nizea.
Dellwood Middle School captured their third consecutive Bermuda School Sports Federation Middle School Track and Field Championship title at the National Sports Center. Dellwood was almost 180 points ahead of their nearest rival with a total of 596.5 points. The race for second place was much closer, with Whitney Institute Middle School finishing 8.5 points ahead of T.N. Tatum Middle School, who had 418 points. A total of 810 runs were scored between the teams, and only 13 wickets fell as Kamal Lavrock and his Warwickshire Cricket Club teammates went down by 4 wickets to Worcestershire Cricket Club. Batting first, Warwickshire scored 403 for 7, and Worcestershire would reply with 407 for 6. Lavrock did not bat, but he did finish with figures of 6 overs, 1 wicket for 101 runs. Meanwhile, Dalray Rollins would watch his Sussex bowlers teammates take plenty of encouragement from the first day of their preseason friendly against Kent after taking 13 top-order wickets at the First Central County Cricket Ground on Thursday. Bermuda's Flora Duffy and Norwegian triathlete Casper Storns will defend their titles against a strong field of elite athletes when the ITU World Triathlon Series returns to Bermuda for a second time on April 27th. Duffy and Storns both stole the hearts of the fans at the crowded finish line at last year's MS Emlyn World Triathlon, the first time Bermuda hosted the event. The first Junior Pan American Games in history will be held in Colombia's capital of sport, Cali, following a vote by the Pan American Sports Executive Committee. The Junior Games that will take place in 2021 will be held in the year commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Cali 1971 Pan American Games. Bermuda players are being encouraged to show the best of Bermuda tennis by entering the Bermuda Breeze USTA National Championships, which takes place in April. Organizers of the tournament at Coral Beach and Tennis Club are thrilled with the response from the U.S. tennis players and would like to see more Bermuda residents enter before the March 31st deadline. The tournament is hosting the following categories: men's and women's singles and doubles in the age categories of 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70 years. Also competed mixed doubles age categories are 40, 50, and 60 years. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
Over time, your mattress goes through a lot. That's why at Dreams, our experts recommend you replace your mattress every 8 years for a better night's sleep. Replace every 8 years and sleep better with Dreams.
For the world we're gonna make.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. Now that's what dreams are made of.
At the car wash, whoa, 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 talking about the car wash, yeah. Come on, y'all, and sing it for me. Car wash, woo, woo, woo. Car wash, yeah.
Let's Talk is back. The TV talk show hosted by Gary Marino airs live at 8 p.m. on Mondays. Real conversations with key figures in public life, going beyond the sound bites to explore and contextualize current affairs. And there's lots to talk about: jobs, tax reform, our changing economy, education, crime, and the environment. Discussing the issues that matter in depth and with personality. A new studio, a new look for a new season. That's Let's Talk. Live Mondays at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9 and repeated at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 a.m.
That's the beautiful rhythm that we've seen from Duffy all season. All smiles from a very proud Bermudian who wins the title, defends her title with maximum points, 5,200. her 6th win of the season.
And finally, a big congratulations to Nadia Shakir, who is officially retiring today after an impressive 35 years of service as a nurse at King Edward Memorial Hospital. She stated that she is very grateful for the support of the BHB and all of her patients over the years. We wish her the very best in her future endeavors. That's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Good night.